1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. Now let's multiply that. That 13 turns into $1.30. 13 plus 8 is 210. It's 21, but the multiplier is 210. We're looking at the price of XRP right now. Okay? I don't know why my eye looks like that in these glasses. But this is the golden ratio. Dumbed down. This is not an exact number, but it's close. Kind of like the laws of physics. They are not accurate. We just use them to measure things because they're accurate enough. My eye kept looking like it was doing some weird thing with those glasses, and fuck it, I'll put it back on. So we're at 21. But before 21, we were at $1.30. $1.30. You don't have to understand this. The golden ratio is what we're referencing. We're talking about Fibonacci, the mathematician. We're talking about the golden spiral that all things are created by mathematically. And that's where we are right now with XRP. This is how I chart. I do TNA, tits and fucking ass. Do not get this wrong. That's how I came up with 160. But what you didn't know when I predicted that point the other day, 7 days ago when I said it was going to hit that in 7 days, and I made a video that said 12. I'm not trying to bullshit here, but 7 days was my number, and I said we're going to push it to 12 because I'm usually a little early. Well, it hit on 7 days. I used, technical analysts, which is human emotions. It's not technical at all. That's what fundamentals are. Fundamentals are what the company's doing and the money and everything. TNA is emotions, the charts, the fucking charts. You're on the top, the top of the line, the charts. So you got the golden ratio, the Fibonacci, the golden spiral, all that shit. 1.6, from a mathematician from fucking before our grandparents were born. Fibonacci. But he figured out everything was correlated with these numbers. So when we got to 130, 13, 5 plus 8, that, once we broke through that, as long as we didn't fall below 130, we were going to bounce off that and keep going. And that's where the 160 number came in. And there was other TNA involved in that. I don't think it's very complex, but the complexity of talking about and explaining it would be translated wrong. Because I'm not very good with words. But I understood it, and we hit that number and pulled back just like I thought we would. I didn't just say 160 because it was going to go to 170. That was a pullback point. But here's the beautiful thing. As long as we stay above 130, we've got the next level of Fibonacci, in the fucking game. And that is 130 plus 8. It's actually 13 plus 8. Takes us to 210. The markets are funny. They usually pull back a little bit early, so maybe we get to 205 and then we pull back. Maybe we pull back a little bit. But the beautiful thing about this is we hit that mark and we're still in the fib levels. We're not kissing that 130 pullback. We could pull back to $1.30. It makes sense and it should happen. However, usually big gains correct 50%. And I'm looking at what happened in the last 24 hours, and it did retrace 50% from the move it made yesterday. Maybe that's all we're going to see. I don't know fucking anything. But I'm trying to tell you everything. My dreamers, my fucking roadies. Hey guys, this is the XRP Cowboy. Hey, this is Billy. Please like and subscribe. Trying to get monetized because I want to be a professional YouTuber. You got to get paid to be a professional, or you're doing it for the love, which is an amateur. The definition of amateur is doing it for the love. It doesn't mean you're bad. You could be better than the professionals. It just means you're not getting paid. I don't care how much money I make. I'll give it back to the community. I just want to say I'm a professional YouTuber. So what we're talking about here is 210. And if you look at the charts, the TNA, there's nothing between here and 210. And to be honest, the highs of $3.80, if you look at where the real fucking volume was and people coming in, it was around $2, which was the last cycle high. So 210 makes sense. But if we get through that, we're not talking about $3.80 anymore. You know, we're actually talking about $2.90 from the fibs and the golden ratio and the golden spiral and everything that creates all of the fucking world here. You understand? So if we can break through the 290, and I actually have to say, the high was probably around, based on that new information that was brought upon us by the cowboy about 30 seconds ago, I think the true high was probably just under 290 and pulled back. And there was some quick wicks up. You know, like I said, David Schwartz even said, I didn't know anyone that sold over $3. What a coincidence. But the beautiful thing about that is when you get above 290, the next level is beautiful. 25. Now you got to add the 8. I mean, we're looking at all-time highs on the book. And then there's nothing. In price discovery, Blue Horizons is where the greatest growth actually happens. There was a book by one of the greatest investors of all time in my perspective. I remember he said, the higher the market cap, the bigger the risk. Eventually every stock corrects 80% except for GE, because it was the apple of the day. And he said, but I'm not so certain that won't happen. We know what happened. It corrected 80%. It's Your Business Daily. I wish I could tell you the book's name, but I will in the next video. That's just the way it is. But his investment strategy was not to buy something going up, or not to buy on the dip, not to chase a falling fucking knife. It was to wait until all-time highs were hit and they bounced off of all-time highs and started moving up, because price discovery is such a powerful thing. It's not the greatest gains, but it's the fastest gains and the most certain gains. And that's why I think 290 is a beautiful price. And if we're looking at this, you know, we just got to get above that 210 and hold it, which probably looks like 205 really. We're one step, it's one fucking step away, you know? How lucky are we? How lucky are we? It's been a hell of a week. I mean, you guys. Fuck. What else? I wrote shit on my hand because I didn't want to forget it. Freedom tokens. You know, we're buying freedom tokens. We're talking about XRP. And I would never sell my XRP for any other crypto, but I would bite into it for Flare, because my perspective, my crypto perspective is we're going to get rich from XRP. But on the way up, we should throw some money into FLR, Spark, because I truly believe this in my heart. And I'm putting my money where my fucking mouth is, that Flare can make us wealthy. There's a difference. I'm not saying this generational wealth thing for XRP isn't possible. What I'm saying is I've owned it since 17 and I'm ready to sell some, okay? And I want a new dream. Because this dream has been beautiful, and I've bought my fucking time coins. I bought every XRP was a brick of fucking gold that I was buying for freedom. So we're buying freedom tokens. But right now I can buy a new freedom token for 2 cents. And that is beautiful. And it's called Flare. So I believe we'll get wealthy from Flare. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? I mean, I know. What are you going to do? I wrote something on my hand. I'm trying to act like I'm not looking at it, but I wrote it on this side too, so you can clearly see what I'm doing. Because you forget when you drink the fucking Blue Mountains, I'm just a normal guy, that owns a bunch of shit and manages money, okay? And, I dress nice for work. I wear like black button-up shirts and shit. But really, I'm a fucking rock star. I'm a fucking rock star that wants to just sing. Cowboys love smoky old bar rooms and good time and women. They'd rather sing you a song than buy you diamonds or gold. And that's the truth, really. It seems crazy, but when I sing, I feel it's a gift. Buck, right? How fucked up am I? How lucky are we? It's been a hell of a week. I mean, I don't know anything, and I know everything. But what I do understand is the Fibonacci's and fucking the golden spiral, and it's gotten me this far. I mean, it's kind of like bullshit because it's like super easy, and you sound like you know what you're doing, and it works, and I just laid it all out for you. You just have to put the multiplier. If it's $100, you use the 1, 2, 3 basic math, and then you add the multiplier. If it's a $1 stock, a $10 stock, or a $100 stock, it's still the same fucking thing. It has an expansion of space and size from a narrow multiplier to, not the multiplier isn't the narrow, it's the width, but it multiplies to the width to create a wider perspective in price action, and eventually that width is mutated, meaning one side is moving faster than the other due to the mathematics of the spacing and size of the width, so it creates a curvature that happens in all things in life. It's that easy, though, to understand. But this is, I have to be honest, there's fragments of math that are missing in what I'm explaining. And the only reason I'm not telling you what it is because it's very difficult for me to put into perspective in a video without showing you a piece of paper, with writing on it. But it doesn't matter. We can do this on our fingers, guys. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Not you. I'm just saying that's something I hear all the time. All we need is a little bit of independent thought and a little less news, and a little more YouTube that we vet by looking back a year on what these people are talking about, and we can get a great perspective on who to listen to. And once we listen to the right people and we figure out 3 or 4 people, we can multiply those to, or add those to 10, but we can absorb all their knowledge, the hours they put in per day, the hour they put in per day, and listen to them for about 2 hours and gain. If you have a few people, I have like 10, but you can gain 20, 30 hours of research a day just in get the highlights from your team that you don't have to pay because you vetted them out and you trust them and they've been reasonably accurate in a few hours. I could be a part of your team, So now you've got 30 hours, 20 hours, 10 hours of work a day, and you're listening to a couple hours of YouTube videos. I mean, think smarter, work smarter, not harder, right? And then control the destiny. Take your own perspective. Spin it your own way. I had a friend the other day that said, you know, I take your information sometime, but usually I wait a while and then I forget and I kind of look at it as my own information. But isn't that just education? Isn't that why we do groups? Isn't that, I mean, is there, of course we do. And I was like, no, that's what we all do. We just put our own perspective or spin on it, right? I mean, is there anyone in the world that has ever not learned something from someone else and then put a perspective on it? So that's not plagiarism. That is learning and education. I mean, I'm having a bad night, guys. I just blew up on my partners. These are people I made partners, and I love them, but they weren't getting the fucking job done. And I was pretty much like, come on, guys. You think you're helping by kissing, smiling and being wonderful to the staff. But in the end, you're letting a blind kid walk towards a fucking well and they're going to fall in. Even worse, they're walking towards fucking 8 Mile and on Woodward. And they're going to walk into fucking rush hour traffic because you're too busy saying you're wonderful when really they're about to get hit by a fucking truck. That's no way to lead. It's no way to manage. They will like you for being nice. But once you make someone uncomfortable and it leads them to greatness, they will fucking love you for that. Because all discomfort is pain. But it's growing pains. My fucking roadies, my dreamers, this is the XRP Cowboy. Hey, this is Billy. And I'm drinking Blue Mountains and fucking I gotta get up in 3 hours to unload a fucking truck that's like 30 feet long and probably have to lift 10,000 fucking pounds of desks or whatever these fucking my blood brothers stumbled upon, to get me. And I'll take it, I mean, it's like I said, it's amazing how cheap they get this shit for. It didn't fall off a truck, but I'm in the wholesale business. And you gotta do what you gotta fucking do. When you got 3 little kids, what would you do if your son was at home crying all night on the bedroom floor 'cause he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money, and his daddy's gone selling rocks on the block, yo. Fuck this toilet. 1 second. And to stick my hand where I keep my beer in the tub behind the toilet. 'Cause something's wrong with the handle. But you guys, this is fucking life. Not everyone's toilet's working right now. But I can say this. We win. In the end, we've bought our time back. It's a beautiful time. I'm going to do an original because I don't want the algorithms to kill me. When I play a song, it always blocks me from a significant amount of people. Please like, subscribe. The future will be televised here. Cowboy Inc. Cowboy, baby. It was a rainy night and I remember it well. She said some things. We got into a fight, so I left her there, crying on her stairs. She didn't know, she didn't even think I cared. She was screaming, Billy, please. Oh, baby, I don't want you with me. Pretty girl walked out of my life. She didn't stay with me. She left me, screaming, screaming loud. Oh, baby, I don't want you around. You guys, we're about to start a channel. me and my partner, and I think you know who he is, but it's going to be a weekly show, and it's going to be a sponsorship, and we're going to have hundreds of thousands of viewers, and we're taking it to the next level. We have turned down, when I say we, I'm referencing the both of us as one. We never cared about that stuff because it wasn't about the money, but there's some projects here that we do care about, and we're going to do it for the money. I did it all for the nookie, so you could get your cookie. Like, subscribe, love.